Hello, greetings. This is Gillesmansillon. I thought I send greetings and wish you a good day. For today, we're celebrating the 50th, for 50 years of the first step on the moon. For we all been on the moon. The moon is just when you're in the illusion, you're in the dream state, you're on the moon. And so we've all been there. That doesn't make us younger, because I do remember this day, where it was the next day actually. I was 5 years old. I was with my great grandparents, they were born in the 19th century. And so I watched that on the black and white screen, but I always remember this step. For it's been said that those images that we were given, fed, were from a studio. It doesn't matter. It opened up the mind of the whole humanity. My mother actually met Neil Armstrong, because I wasn't there in the studio that day, but in Hollywood, my stepfather was a brilliant man. He had a PhD from the London School of Economics, and he studied art at Stanford, and but he drank 3 liters, a gallon of Bombay gin every day. So in the afternoon, he wasn't really all there. And Neil Armstrong was part of the Alcoholic Anonymous group, and he went to see him one day, and to try to help him and assist him, to convince him to get out of the alcohol. And my mother did meet him. He was an historical person, and so it was one small step, but we're going to make more. For the moon is actually, what I'm saying may be controversial, but the moon is not actually a natural satellite of the Earth. It's an artificial intelligence, an artificially created planet that was created in the Pleiades, that was captured on Orion during the Galactic War, and at the end of the Galactic Wars, he was sent here as a guardian of the prison to keep the emotion low. But now we move into the age of light, all the connection to everything, because it's got most of the Salacian, the extraterrestrial that live on the moon. And first they used to have cities they wouldn't give out light, of course, but in the dark side of the moon. So they were discrete beings, but they had those settlement on the dark side of the moon, and they were living inside, and they're still living inside. But a lot of the dark extraterrestrials are being removed from the moon, and now we're the moon is going to ascend with the Earth, for she's the goddess Salacia. And so she's the reflection of the sun, the divine feminine, and the moon rules all of the water over the earth, all the emotion, all our water system. So it is very important. It is so close to us. It is such a deep connection. It is the closer. And so maybe there are timelines where eventually she might just return to the Pleiades and will regain the 2 natural moons that we used to have. For it will take a while, but for now she's ascending with us. And one day we may even be able to colonize the moon, to find this, to create bubbles with like really nice hotels and golf course, and because there is very, very low gravity, so it's very pleasant to take a little trip to the moon. And we may even be able to terraform it, to create Venus is being terraformed right now. The atmosphere of Venus is changing to become suitable for biological life form on the outside shape. But the moon, we may be able, once we get to master the techniques of terraforming, it's an accelerated process of creating an artificial atmosphere, and we'll be able to create an annex planet. And so, but there is much that will be discovered about the moon. So I'm going to pull a few cards to see what. So we're celebrating that for this anniversary. For what the past is amusement. We played. Now we are at a deep end, and the future is the threefold riddle. That means what needs to be solved will not be solved intellectually. It has to come from the heart. We have to use our mind only to focus energy, and the heart to process energy, rather than processing through our mind. What we're working on right now is the way through, is the key that opens the door. And the future, the outcome will be the apocalypse, the Holocaust, the revelation. Everything that's not in divine order will be washed out of the program. So it is nothing to worry about, for it is survival. It is the pollution that that needs to be eliminated. All that is totally banana. Everything that is not that is completely absurd. For sometimes we live in a world that's so chaotic, so much absurdity, and all of this is coming back to the surface. And so what we need to do is to find self-preservation, to find this inner peace within ourselves, to have a neutral detachment in relationship to all those things, and to stay centered and focused. It's like being in the eye of the hurricane. If the energies of the outside world will be moved and shaken, and so we have to stay centered, stay focused, and everything will be fine. for it was for we are making step forward. Sometimes we make look, I made a step. Yeah, but if you want to walk, you need to make another and another. You always want to move forward. Spirit says, I'm almost at the end of my cleansing process, and Spirit knows. Sometimes you do not know all things, but when you're in contact with your spirit guidance, your inner guide, as Epictet or Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic, would say, they would turn to the inner guide for guidance. The Spirit knows. It knows exactly. It knows it perfectly. So you can tune into that frequency, and then you can trust. The understanding that all the areas of the earth will not be affected the same way by those cosmic waves. Some will be really shaken up, but others will shift later. So depending on where we are, there are many places where people will continue to live their life as usual, but other places it will be no longer possible. I'm understanding the great significance of my mission here. And so it is important to ask you to understand you have personal guides, to use the ascended masters and the archangels. Those great beings of light are assisting, they're protecting, they're overseeing your life. Use them, call on them, accept that, allow them to supervise your process of life. For we do not have all the elements, but the company of heaven will support the life of everybody who's working for the highest good of all. Understanding that giving is receiving. So give whatever you seek to receive. Give. You can give what you have. If you don't have it, you cannot give it. But just be generous in your thought, in your mind, and the more we give, the more we are able to receive. It's like a cup. For we have been given so much, but if as we give, the cups empty out, and then God, Spirit, can fill it up. It was a message from a friend named Kutumi, a great ascended master. We send him greetings. We thank him for his service. He's a planetary teacher. He had many incarnations on the earth. He built the Taj Mahal. Great architects, and he was also Pythagoras. So, now he's ascended, and then the name Kutumi, and we want to connect with all those great beings that they have so much love. We have Moria, all the ascended master. Understanding that in essence all is one and one is all. 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. Connect to this. There is no separation. There is no one higher than you, no one lower than you. Everybody's in that equality of the one. Once all the ones will have become one, will understand their unity with the great one, then the one will become the one eventually. But until the one becomes, everybody thinks they're superior to one or inferior to one, there's going to be a disbalance in the process. It's part of the process of evolution. All religions were created by God to prepare the grand unification, to prepare this grand event of reunification. And God is the unique being, is the only one, is the only power in the universe. Everything else is an illusion. For everybody that's creating suffering in the world, or the tyrant and all the oppression in the world, are doing it by beings that do not know they have access to the divine love. They are unable to access that light, that love, that wisdom that is within themselves. So everything comes from, all suffering comes from the lack of access. So you want to tune in within and center yourself, and understanding we are not lowly creatures. We are created in the image of God. On the physical plane, we're on top of the evolutionary ladder. We're on the top of the food chain, so to speak. But humans, as human in relationship, but on the spiritual level, we're on the very bottom of this great big ladder that climbs up all the way to the infinite, to the Creator. But in a sense, all is one and one is all. It is just a matter of completing the cycle and elevating ourselves step by step towards ever-increasing octaves of love and comprehension and wisdom. To remember God is to know yourself. To forget God is to forget yourself. So we all came here with this forgetfulness, but now we are called to remember. Well, I hope those messages are interesting for you. I'm called to speak about spiritual ideas, to just as a reminder for all those things I'm saying. We already know within ourselves, our higher self, our inner self already know all that. I'm going to pull a few cards from Rumi. For we're passing through this great eclipse today, so it's like we're going to be able to wash out all kinds of things. The highest wisdom is arise like the sun. The sun arises every morning. It's an eternal day that repeats itself. What we need to understand is the human gift. to utilize all the gifts, the mental, the emotional, the physical, and the astral, to bring them into alignment. What we need to do is you show the way. So you have to become proactive in showing the ways to all that are willing to listen to your message. For do not be afraid to speak your truth, to embody this truth, to be gentle and to show it, and the outcome is a sacred convergence. It is timing, it is all things that are coming in divine timing. I know for me in my life, Spirit was saying everything will come together at once. It's going to eventually, all the doors are going to open all at once. So I'm looking to get ready. For there is the subconscious is influencing, subconscious is far vaster than our conscious mind. It is all those things that we've forgotten from our past or from our past life, and it is always coming up to influence how we feel. So we do not know why we feel a certain way, and this is we have to accept, to have compassion and accept that those things that we cannot comprehend, but we have to feel. For this subconscious energy, like this morning, Mercury being retrograde was bringing me back all kinds of things I had created when I was in deep feeling down or something, and it's like bringing all those things back to my mind, and it was like shattering my optimism and my vision, and say, "Well, you created that." And so we have to. The idea is not to come into pessimism or self-punishment, but we have to detach neutrality, let it pass, and so it will so that we can move back into this vision of that which is wanted in our near future. For whatever we attach to that's still hanging on to us that we know are not necessarily valuable, as actually value. We have to accept, or if it did not have value, we would not be attached to those things. So understand what is the value, why do we still attaching to the certain things from our past. Once we understand, then we can release it with ease. So it's about being patient, but to know that those things will be let go. But until the day we see no more value in it, we'll let it go. As the last subject, I wanted to address an idea of intimate relationship between man and woman. It can be between two men or two women, it doesn't matter, but the intimate relationship, men and women perceive, they have a very different approach to the relationship on the intimate level. And that is the difference that will keeps creating this dynamism. If there wasn't this mystery, literature would be very dry. So it's about understanding that men perceive with their eyes much more, and women perceive with their ears. That's why men lies and women wear makeup in the illusion of time. But in essence, we are both complementary. We're both sacred. We're both divine. And also we have to establish, when we move into a relationship, what are our boundaries, where do we set the lines. When we go into monogamous relationship, where we like with one partner, it's like we both have to see where do we draw the line of our comfort zone, where we are accepting that our partner goes on the emotional connection with someone else, on the intellectual connection with someone else, on the physical connection with someone else. What is acceptable? There is no right or wrong. There is just a sense of harmony and balance. So it is very important to communicate with your partner so that you can define those lines and understand, so you can stay comfortable within this relationship. And we are moving into new levels of relationships. I hope you enjoyed those times, for there is so much that is going on. And the last card of the day is Atlantis. It is about this memory that is emerging from the past, to bring about to heal the past wounds of Atlantis. This masculine energy that needs to be integrated with Lemuria. Behind me is my friend Tali. She's one of the greats. She's like an inspiration. And here it's an interior from 2007, I believe. 2007, I think. It's called the Golden Door. There is like 4 paintings, but in this painting here, there's like on top of a vortex, there is this golden door and this golden person that stands on top of the vortex. I'm going to finish with a song. I don't have the words here, but I'm going to try to remember it. It's a song about optimism and making our dreams come true. It goes like this. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dream that you dare to dream ready to come true. Someday I wish upon a star and wakes up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh why can't I? Follow the fellow who follows the dream, follow the rainbow over the stream, follow the yellow brick road, follow the yellow brick road, follow the yellow brick road. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. We hear it's a whiz of a whiz, if ever a whiz there was. If ever a whiz there was, the Wizard of Oz is one because of the wonderful thing he does. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Great song, it's from a great movie. Do not, if you haven't seen this movie, I recommend you watch it. It's from the 1940s, but it's still very actual in the meaning and symbology of it. It's like Dorothy's always had those magic slippers, those magic shoes, those ruby shoes. I think in the book they weren't ruby, but in the movie they are. And it's like she was trapped in this land of Oz, this magical world. But at all times she just need to click her heels 3 times to be back in our home in Kansas. So understand, sometimes we feel like we just need to click our heels 3 times and we're back home in the 5th dimension. And to understand who's pulling the string, we are the soul that's like the Wizard of Oz is our truth, is God behind the scene who's pulling the string. So remember your God self, remember yourself. And assist everybody else as much as possible to do the same. I hope this message was interesting for you. I thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. I wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful eclipse, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.